so often we get caught up in the now, and the now doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
What matters is the full story and the journey, right? That may be a small blip in the full story and journey, but we can't allow that to change our trajectory.
yeah. My uncle always said, "Now is always gone. Soon as you say it, it's a
It
new
is.
now. Then it's a new now. Then it's a new now." Um, yeah, and I tell people, make your decisions based on through the eyes of time,
Mm-hmm.
because the past is done, now is gone. The only thing you have is the future.
Mm-hmm.
People say live in the now, but it continues to keep moving. What's up? What's up, y'all? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Pattern Disruption Podcast. This is your host, Eric Rhymes. And today we have a special guest. I know I say that every time because I feel like anybody that takes their time up to come on this show is a special guest. And this one is this is going to be a serious show because this is a young man. This is our future right here. So we definitely want to pour into him. I appreciate everybody that's coming to the show, all the people that support us. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and even the share button. Just want to welcome all my disruptors this morning. Shout out to y'all for being the best that you can be. But today on the Pattern Disruption Podcast, I'm sitting down with Tarence Rice, a Detroit native, PhD student at Rice University, and a young man that's pushing the limits of AI, engineering, and community impact. From the east side of Detroit to the lab, his story is all about faith, focus, and legacy. Let's get into it. Y'all give a warm Pattern Disruption welcome to Tarence Rice.
How y'all doing? It's a great introduction, man.
Oh man, I appreciate that, man. You deserve nothing less. You deserve nothing less. So, for people that don't know, you're family, um, like a really sentimental situation where we lost one of my best friends, your Uncle Rico. Shout out to the Jones family, man, for just being a good family, man, and a solid place in the community that we can always, that they bring in young people like you and Enrico and just the family, man, just doing great things, man. So I just want to say welcome to you today to the show. I appreciate you being here. I ain't gonna keep you too long. You say you got a meeting this morning.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna get right into it, man. So tell me, what was your childhood? What was childhood like for you?
Man, it was I think I had a great childhood. Uh, on set of, I was an only child, so through that, I had community though, so I had, grandma that stayed around the corner. I had a cousin that stayed at the end of the block, so I had a lot of things that developed me growing up. And I say that to say is like big picture. For me, I feel like I had a very, very like interesting like childhood, to say the least. Everybody got an interesting story, but I feel like mine's definitely aligned me on the trajectory that I'm on now. So I guess growing up, I grew up, in Detroit, in the city, which a lot of people kind of probably are viewers of the city or from all over. But inner city, played football. They gave me perspective of the inner city life, and then I had a pivot in middle school. So middle school, I went to school in the suburbs, and that was just a whole different world. So that, is the root of kind of the story and the trajectory of me seeing things that, enlighten me to see a different perspective. So the childhood itself is very crucial and important, because I know you have later questions on the
Yeah.
trajectory of where I'm at and how I got on the path that I was at. But I'll say the least, those are the big points.
Okay, and what was the reason that you went to middle school in the suburbs?
So yeah, for me as a kid, I was just like, all right, y'all want to ship me out there for a better opportunity? Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So different perspective. They saying, that, it is what it is, that opportunities out there was better than what it was in the city.
Yeah.
And
Okay. And then, so you go to high school, and is high school in the suburbs as well?
yes,
Okay. And what high school is that?
Cousin O. in Warren.
Cousin O. Yeah, I heard of Cousin O. I heard of Cousin O.
It's
Okay.
funny because now, like a lot of my little cousins, they go there now, right? That's
Right.
funny.
And were people giving you a hard time for going there? Or did they treat you different or can
Uh, I mean, I take my blessing as is, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, so you go to Cousin O, and so tell me this: who is there anybody in the family that you would credit with that ambition and the hunger that you have that brought you to where you are today? Who would you credit for that?
I mean, definitely my mom, of course.
Oh yeah, shout out to Leash.
She definitely made the sacrifice to, you
Shout
know.
out to Leash, man, because she don't play when it comes to them Jones boys. She does not play.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she made it happen. You know, like it wasn't no 10-minute drive. The middle school is like 35 minutes, 40 minutes with traffic sometimes. You know, just to go to middle school every day, there and back, right? So, the high school was a little less of a drive, and then eventually I had a car. But she made those sacrifices for me. You know,
Yeah, and then we went to that Evangel Christian Academy, so they were always putting, they wanted to put you in the position. If Reek loved Evangel, you know what I'm saying, and so she put him in a private school, and and he did what he was supposed to do, graduated and everything. So I understand when you say she took you to the suburbs to go to school. I get it, I get it. So what type of student were you in high school?
man, I was average.
You was
I
an
look back. I look back at the courses that gave me the most problems, which was like biology and physics. And to be an engineer, you could skate past the biology if you're not in that type of engineering, but the physics, everybody has to take physics. So when I look back and reflect, and I barely got a C, and here I am, a PhD student in engineering, it's it's
now
definitely critical.
now you're a mechanical engineer student, right?
Yes.
Now is so that would take physics as well. I thought that would be more math.
Yeah, so physics is the basis of it.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay, okay.
so
You got to pass it to get to.
so math, then physics, and then you start taking the math and physics at the same time, and then you go to engineering. So physics is the baseline that everybody takes for engineering.
Okay, before the show started, I asked you a little bit about. Do you feel like you are highly intellectual, or do you feel like you are just more a hard worker and consistent?
Yeah, I feel like the latter, definitely like a hard worker, but I do have, when you say intellectual, I do have the curiosity. So I
Okay,
feel like
yeah.
the curiosity is keeping me to be a hard worker, right? So I think they're intertwined together. Just trying to figure out and think differently about problems. But
Okay,
naturally, some people are naturally gifted and like they just get it. But I just work hard,
you just work hard.
Yeah.
And so your study schedule and stuff like that. Did you have like a um, what kind of what kind of schedule did you use for just studying, just for young people or for parents who want to add some different mix to their kids studying?
Yeah. So for me, it's just like I came in not knowing anything, right? I was just a student that got good grades, decent grades in high school, and then I went to college. And so college formulated, the process of how to study and set the bar so you know what it takes to achieve excellence. So forming friends and communities, study groups, all these different things allow me to be able to, excel in these courses. But essentially you kind of got to put in the work to master the material. And that takes hours, days, frustration, until it clicks, right? And so it's definitely a process. But I know just throwing tidbits out for other people. I know tutoring helps, and definitely putting in the time.
So just the basic stuff and staying committed to that. That may be the real thing. Because we all know, you want to study, set time out to study, quiet space, or whatever. You might want to go to a coffee shop where it's that background noise or, elevator noise, but it's basically seeing it through and following through and committing to it. The same old recipes that everything takes, really. It's no it's no quantum leap. You know what I'm saying? It's just you got to put in the work, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, I think about it today. Like I got some stuff that's not going good in the lab, and it's like I can give up, right? Or I could just think positive and just keep grinding it out. And so with engineering, it helps to have a community. Um,
Yeah.
so I feel like the communal aspect is one of the biggest things that lessens the burden. Some people are independent, but it lessens the burden for me at least to kind of, you know,
Yeah, have another
learn this in the
going.
process with others, or
Yeah.
get some guidance along the way of how to get through or think about things from that perspective. So
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So were you one of those kids that was taking apart radios and computers and trying to put stuff back together, tinkering?
Yeah, in a way. So what kind of got me on that path? Well, my pops, he's a tinker for sure.
Okay.
He got all the tools,
Shout out to
everything,
Pops.
compressors. Yeah, definitely. So growing up, I mean, we definitely was like, no, we can fix it ourselves, or do this or do that. As well as Eric. Eric was the first person that gave me a drill. The other Eric.
Shout
Yeah,
out,
he
shout
gave
to
me a
Ed. Shout out
drill
to
and
Ed.
definitely showed me how to, use tools and different things. And then when I went to college, we had like the, radio shop in a sense, and it was a soldering. We made a radio, we made different circuit boards and different things, and that got me on the engineering path as well as the auto mechanic shop. So school gave me that hands-on, experience that kind of gave me the interest towards the engineering direction as well.
Yeah, you know what's funny? It's having a natural inclination for stuff. Like for me, I don't want to take nothing apart.
Mm,
And that's how you figure out if you take your natural what comes naturally to you that's hard for other people and you kind of lead with that, you have a much higher chance of being successful. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I was more of an English student versus a math student. Math just, and then my uncle told me, he said, everything is math. He said, just point at anything in this room. And it took math to create it. I'm like, man. So and that's pretty much the truth. It's all math, but it just wasn't my natural inclination. So that's what's up. So if you could talk to your younger self back in Detroit, what would you tell him? The young Terrence.
The young me,
Yeah.
uh, keep doing you.
Yeah.
Keep doing you. Doing you got you where you are today. And when I
But
look back,
did doing you cause you any trouble around other people, your peers?
of course, I was
Okay.
Terrence. I was the spoiled kid. But in a way, like, I feel as if, like, I feel as if we all got things we can work on. But I feel like me as a person, as I look back today, I feel like I'm a good person. You know,
Yeah, and you
uh,
mean well.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you mean well. So it may come across sometime. I get the same thing, man. When you really ambitious, and I consider you as one of you really ambitious. You got to be. I see you in France. I got pictures. Actually, I pulled one up while I was doing the intro, just because you can't really encompass you for people that don't know you. It's a lot more to you than academics. You know
right.
what I'm saying? It's a whole, you just naturally curious
Hmm.
about traveling and all kind of stuff, man. So, I'm proud of you, man. But so you would tell your younger self to just do you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's real.
Definitely. Because I mean, if I would have looked at what other people were doing and stuff like that, I probably would have been on a whole different path. So I always had the whole frame of mind of just staying in my own lane.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, so you end up going from high school, you went to college. Was that Tennessee State?
Yes.
Okay, what made you choose Tennessee State? And since I live here now in Tennessee, how did that experience change your life or affect your life?
Yeah. So starting off, I was going to Western, and then my stepmom and my mom. Shout out to the moms, right? They they took me on a college tour. So, a lot of people sometimes they go on a curated college tour through a church or a lot of different paths for people that do the black college tour. So my moms they took me on a college tour straight down, right? Straight down 75, and we hit all the black colleges and some of the other colleges along the way, and we went all the way down as far as Tennessee State, I want to say. And for some reason the school stuck out to me. The tuition was the same as Western, and I just wanted to get away, but not too far away. But little did I know, 8 hours, 7 hours, it wasn't a trip that you could make every weekend. So I was far enough to I had to grow up, right? And so that allowed me to be in a different space of different cultures, right? I mean, we're all black, right? But
Yeah.
when I first came into my dorm room, my roommate was like, "What's up, fool?" And you know, you and I, where we come from, if a person call you fool, you like, what do you mean? What
You
you
don't know, yeah, you don't know me like that.
on? Yeah, but that's just kind of how they talk, right?
Yeah.
That's how they word, right? They're from Memphis. They so it
So
got me out of my shell.
was this a black kid?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, okay. And he's
And he
okay.
wasn't trying to be funny or anything. He was legit just trying to be my friend. That's just how they work.
Yeah, yeah.
Memphis
That's
people
kinda how my
really
cousin talk down here. He that's how he talk. "What's up, fool?" Yeah, yeah. I know what
come
you're talking about.
on.
Yeah,
I didn't
okay.
come to college to be called a fool, but that's the black college experience, right? I mean, it's good and bad, but overall, like it's love there. So, yeah,
But you settled on Tennessee State based on you said you could just feel it. It was where you needed to be.
yeah. For my journey and my path of growing as a scholar, it definitely was. It was a fit for me, right? All schools come in different variations, but Tennessee State definitely was a fit. It was a fit for my growth and what I needed.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna make sure that we getting the sound is coming through right. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Yeah, we good. We good. Okay. So, all right. So you do Tennessee State. You stay there. You get your bachelor's there.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And your bachelor was in what?
Electrical.
Electrical. Now, was that engineering?
Yep. Electrical engineering. Yep.
Okay, so you got a bachelor's in electrical engineering. So you do those 4 years, and then you decide because you could have still did a master's program here in Tennessee as well, right?
Yep.
But you chose where did you end up going from there?
Yeah, I went to Rice.
Okay, and that's where you are now.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And why did you choose Rice?
So essentially, I had an opportunity to go to Harvard for a summer, just a week long program, summer venture and management, and so it just kind of changed me. It leveled me up to a whole nother perspective, being around top students from the whole U.S. Right, and for me, I never had that exposure to say. Right, you went to your HBCU, yeah, it grew you and developed you, but like these were the best of the best, right? And so the whole frame of what they were doing kind of like catapulted me, right? To see things from a different perspective. A lot of those students were working in consulting, they're working in hedge funds, they were working in some of the biggest organizations in the US, right? And some of them international, right? I had students that were from London, right? They brought students from all over the world to this place, right? Trying to recruit. And so that changed my mindset on my next opportunity and where I wanted to go. Right. And so I applied for fellowships for grad school, and fellowships is essentially scholarships to go to grad school for free. And I got one that was very prevalent. It's called GEM, and it's for pretty much all STEM majors. And essentially, I got that opportunity, and to me, that was like a go to ticket to any university to say, "Hey, I got my own funding. You know, you can take me on as a student because this program is backing me." And so from there, I had the opportunity to go to Rice.
Okay, okay. And so you get your master's in what, 2 years?
The pandemic, so it's like three.
Okay. So did you come home during the pandemic or you stayed there?
No, I stayed here. Yep.
Okay, okay. How was that experience?
Uh, it was great, for the most part. I mean, to be honest, it was very stressful. That first year, because essentially for the program that I was in, the first year is like the qualifiers, and so I'm there isolated in the pandemic, trying to figure out what this whole PhD journey is, how to pass through the qualifiers, still trying to go into the lab to run experiments, and we're not supposed to be there. It was just a lot of things that I had to navigate. But overall, like that to me was the hardest part of the PhD is passing the qualifiers. But looking back, it was worthwhile.
Okay, so for us mere mortals, man, what is a qualifier, man?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of PhD programs they do it differently, but essentially, it's like you have to take a test essentially to be accepted into the PhD program, and so uh, ours was specifically we take a course and we produce research, and they had to say yes or no. Essentially, it's like a defense showing that you could produce novel research in a sense. And so, yeah, I had to conduct real experiments that turned into publications, but I had to showcase that to a whole panel of other PhDs and professors. So it was just to get in. Yeah. So like you're accepted, but it's like to really be, to pass, it's another test, right? So like for engineering, we had like a qualifiers exams to get into the engineering program at Tennessee State. So for the PhD, they kind of do the same thing.
Okay, okay.
See if you meet the bare minimum or whatever metric they have for you to continue on. It's
Were there
another.
any other students that look like you?
When I came into the program, no, I was the only black person. Yep.
Wow.
So it was funny. I'll tell this story. I came in and me, me being me, man, me being me. I came in. It's a classroom full of Asians and Indians, to be honest. And I
Wow.
mean, it's just what I saw is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And they went down the line introducing themselves. Me just being me, where I come from, everyone was like, "Yeah, I'm such and such, and I'm from China, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Terrence, and I'm from China." They looked, and the professor said, "Oh, you're a funny guy."
Uh-huh.
Me being me, I didn't know, man. But looking back,
No,
man,
was it you being nervous or you was just being funny?
just being funny.
Oh, okay.
I,
Okay.
I'm just being me, not knowing the social dynamics and people, but literally,
Oh, being silly on that type of stage. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I get you. I got you. I got you. Okay, so you make it in. Is it do you pass with flying colors, or is it like, or is it something where you barely make it?
no, the journey is tough, right?
Okay.
I had to put in the time, the effort, and no, it wasn't like flying colors, right? So it was more so just me just working, right? I can't really worry about what others think, right? I could worry about me and what day to day is for me, right? And to get better. Like some students came in with masters, so they had an advantage because they have publications, they already have a master's, they know how to navigate what research is. And for me, I hadn't had any research experience, right?
Right.
And so now I'm trying to develop that on the fly, and I'm getting compared to other students who already have that experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. No, I get that. I get that. And
yeah.
you just said something that I want to go back to. You said you can only worry about you. So you basically were you kind of referring to some people were really advanced and you were coming from this is a new situation for you totally.
Hmm.
And you got to try to keep your blinders on and stay focused and stay positive, even
Right,
though it was looking bleak in your heart at times.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. I know a lot about that, bro.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
a lot about that.
yeah, definitely.
And shout out to you, man. Listen, man, let me tell y'all something. We sit here talking, but this stuff come they say an object that's already moving is most likely to keep moving. And
Hmm.
they say an object at rest. I don't know what that's referring to, but I think one of the
Physics
scientists,
laws.
what law that is, I don't know. But an object sitting still is probably going to stay still unless it's forced.
Right, right.
And for this young man to be moving, I'm so glad that you're moving because it's going to be harder to stop you. But when you wait until you my age, or if you wait till you your age now and you try to start, it's a lot harder. So you kept going. I shout out to my sister Jaja. She went straight through to PhD. She didn't get it till she was 30. But shout out to y'all because that means a lot. Just going, you know, I can tell you moving forward. You still haven't stopped. So and you know, E.B. Du Bois used to talk about the talented tenth,
Mm.
and you one of those people that's, especially from your generation, that has that chance to move us forward, not as just people, but it just as humankind. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not as just black people, but it's just humankind.
Hmm.
And like you said, you're doing research, you're doing publications. This stuff gonna be around forever.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So just shout out to you, man. But
Thank
what I guess I was going to ask you what pulled you into engineering in the first place, but I get it. It's just a natural inclination for you. But you worked at like Intel and Texas Instruments and DTE. Why such a? Is that's like a very? Was that was just what do they call them? Where you go in and
internships.
yeah, where those interns.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, okay. And how did that move you through?
Yeah, so essentially, I was company to company trying to get exposure to what engineering was and the different type of works, the different type of sectors, the different type of cultures and environments. And so each summer I had an opportunity to do an internship. And for me, that was an opportunity for me to one, figure out what I wanted to do in life, but then two, live somewhere differently. Right. So all of those internships allowed me to live in California, live in Denver, live in Texas, live in a different part of Tennessee, come back home in Michigan to see what that feels like to work. So for me, I have that repertoire of living across the country, working in different Fortune 500 companies and getting that experience and exposure. So it definitely allowed me to see more of life, right, in a sense. So
Yeah.
definitely grateful for those opportunities.
So other than Detroit, because we know that's the greatest place to live,
Yeah.
what was your next best experience living? And I probably know because of where your address is now. But tell me, from every place that you've lived, what's been the best experience?
Uh, for me, I really wanted to. I mean, Texas became home because I just felt like the excellence here, right? And that's from like black people and kind of some of the things that they had going on here, and that's why I settled here. But for me, I was very curious about like engineering, right? And so the Bay was definitely on my list. Um, and so I really wanted to live in the Bay, and I had that opportunity. The crazy thing how God works, I had the opportunity to figure that out or get that experience through an internship. And so I had a summer to live in the Bay. And in short, we all are like vessels, right? And at that point in my life, I wasn't ready for that, right? And I'm not saying like today, like it will never be the Bay for me, but at that point in my life, Texas needed to be home for me. And more so, it was just it wasn't enough of us out there, right? In
Yeah,
the sector that I was working in, I'm in South Bay, and literally, I felt like I was in a whole nother country,
yeah, yeah,
right? And then when I speak with other people that live and work there, they say, "Oh no, I live on this side, or I commute, or this is where we are." And I was like, "Okay."
yeah. That's how I feel down here in Nashville right now. You
Mm,
know, it's black people around, but you have to go to them.
right.
And the places that I choose to live, I want to be in the hipper part of town where it's walkable and all that.
Mm,
So it's more expensive, but it's not a lot of you don't see a lot of us. And this is gentrified in the area I'm in now. I know you
mm.
know a lot about that.
Oh yeah. It
Yeah,
happened so fast. Literally, my
yeah,
dad came down one like the start of the summer. By the end of the summer, he's seen the gentrification come. So it happens fast, especially there.
yeah. So what made you say, you know what? I'm gonna get a PhD. I'm gonna go to the top level of this field. What
Yeah.
made you say that?
More the intellectual curiosity as well as like mentors. So I attribute both. So I had a lot of great mentors at Tennessee State, and if it seemed to me that all the people that I connected with were like top executives at the school, and they kind of just was like, "Hey, have you thought about getting a PhD? This is what it looks like. I've done it, right?" And I just kind of started backtracking and started asking people, right? Like, what was your journey like getting a PhD? Was it valuable? And so when I checked all those boxes of like interviewing people, no one had anything bad to say, right? I haven't heard anything bad from anyone besides the only thing is you may be overqualified, and to me, that's
That's a
not
good
bad.
problem to have. Yeah, that's a good problem to have. Yeah, but right, because I think my sister went through that. She's overqualified for a lot of stuff, you
Yeah,
know. Um, but in engineering, I mean, it's so many opportunities in engineering. That's always going. That's pretty much STEM, right?
right. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about STEM. What is STEM?
STEM is pretty much like science. I forget the whole, acronym, but essentially it's like science, math, and engineering all put together. But it actually means something, but I forget all the letters.
Yeah,
But
that,
essentially,
that T means something. I
yeah,
can't think it's
yeah, I
technology.
had to Google it, but yeah,
Yeah,
essentially it's pretty much anything like mathematical, right? It's just like a frame of different majors and different things, and essentially you're a problem solver, right? You see things from like an analytical side of solving problems, and so um, definitely, I'm grateful for STEM being a thing because we had like a whole STEM lab growing up. I mean, in undergrad, and so that lab was just a space for all STEM students to come to have tutors, and it was like a big party every day. Us getting better, right? Getting our reps in and learning math and science and engineering all together. So definitely, STEM is a great area for people to do work in, right? And how to scale that to industry is, I think, is impactful, right? STEM students are important.
yeah, yeah. They say that we lack a lot of people in STEM based on, a lot of people want to be athletes.
Hmm.
They want to be rappers and from the black community. So STEM is something because you can definitely make a good living and you can actually, like you say, problem solve and help move the whole race forward and just humanity. So
Hmm.
we definitely need people in STEM. How do you get young people excited about STEM though? You got to put it
Uh,
in a rap, or you got you got to wrap something around it to sell it.
yeah, it's just, I mean, it's connecting with people, man. Like we all curious, right? And so, like, if you find ways to intrigue people, curiosity, I feel like is the best way. And so that's just being relatable, right? And I mean, I've experienced a lot of like, college fairs or tech fairs and stuff. One shout out to STEM NOLA. Like I was able to go to one of their like exposures, and essentially they had different science projects, right? From drones flying to chemicals mixing, making fire, all those little things that can intrigue, that was geared towards like 10 to middle school on down, right?
Yeah.
And so being able to like go to a science museum, right? And kind of be curious about, hey, I have a mass over here and I can go and pull it, right? How does that work, right? Like it's something that's a ton and I literally can pull it by leveraging and sliding my distance, and I can, you can see
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the curiosity and why this works, right? And that's just one simple example that I remember, right?
What is that? I'm sure you know it, being an engineering student. If with a long enough lever and a what is this saying? Have you ever heard it where I can move the earth or something like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's essentially what it was, but
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's what I thought about when you just said that. I can't think of the saying,
right.
but yeah. So, where do you see this your research taking you in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you really want out of this? Is it just the money and the level up, or what are you trying to change in the
Yeah,
world?
so I guess 5 to 10 years. I've currently been looking at consulting and more so just becoming an engineer, but a business person as well. And so merging the two worlds together to identify companies and opportunities within companies that can catapult us to the next level in creating new technology. So I think that's where I want to settle at in the next 5 or 10. But it's definitely business and engineering, right? And when I say engineering, you can solve a lot of problems, right? And more so, I do want those deep technical problems, such as leveraging AI and different ways of infusing that into the economy in a sense.
Yeah.
So I've been looking for opportunities that I can leverage those skill sets in.
Okay, so that me to my next question. So, what do you think? So, obviously, you believe AI is advantageous for us moving forward. Are you? What do you think about Chat GPT? Because I think that's the one that everybody's been interested in. You know, that's the one everybody's been using.
Yeah, so ChatGPT is just the beginning of a lot of different modalities that are coming. I just seen the other day they were training like a ChatGPT for us that robots can take and leverage, right? And to me, I think AI may not be advantageous for human society, but it's here. And when you have people that are leading the way, how do you stop them, right?
Yeah,
But more so for me and how I look at it is like how can we leverage these tools to benefit us all, right?
yeah,
Um, but specifically about ChatGPT, I mean, it's good, but then it's also bad. And the reason I say it's bad is because I hope that we don't lose the critical thinking part. So that's something I'm always asking myself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because whenever I have an idea, I run it through there just to kind of take the edge off and make it more digestible.
Hmm.
Because it's just, AI is basically all the information that's ever been curated from every mind, and then it's put into this bottleneck and it's fed to you in seconds, right?
Hmm.
Um, I think it's great at that level. But the part that I don't know about, which probably know more about, is where it gets kind of gray, what you can actually do with it. Because not only that, we're feeding it more information.
Hmm.
And yeah, and before you know it, it can mimic us to a degree where it's even better than you.
Hmm.
Because now it's the best version that you could ever be. It's just weird. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to have respect for it. Um,
Hmm.
Let me ask you. So a lot of people think AI is scary. What do you think the biggest misconception about it is?
Uh, I can agree with them. Like it's scary because I feel as if
Oh
we're
wow,
we're
engineers say it's scary.
we're going to be living in like a matrix type of thing, right? I mean, you got to see like Sam Alton made his company from Facebook. He switched it from Facebook to Meta, right? And Meta is like the metaverse, it's like the virtual world, right? And it's like, what is he thinking, right?
Now you said
I
Sam.
mean, not Sam Alton. That Sam
Oh
Alton is from
yeah,
what's it
you
called
talking about
the guy from Facebook. Sam Alton is the guy that did ChatGPT, but
what's
the
his
guy
name?
the guy from Facebook, what's his name? Uh,
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it mixed up.
yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg. He changed his company. But Sam Alton as well.
He's Chat GPT, right?
He's the guy behind it, right?
Yeah.
And he's on the same page with him, Mark
Okay.
Zuckerberg. And
Yeah.
so like them, I know a lot of people don't like these people or don't like the name I'm getting ready to say is
Elon.
Elon.
Yeah.
But like these people in retrospect, they're pushing forward advancements, whether good or bad. That's something to be debated about, right? Um, but more so, I look at it from a landscape that you have competition, and we all know China is our biggest competition.
Yeah.
And something so interesting that I seen the other day was that they don't allow ChatGPT in China. They don't allow Google in China. They don't allow a lot of American companies in China.
Yeah.
And so just to take the lens back and think about AI, this person, that person, I try to look at a holistic standpoint of being a patriot, right? America, and trying to
Yeah, 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 yeah.
stay at the forefront of advancement for the better of us
As a
as
society, yeah.
right.
I got you. So, yeah, yeah. So we need to be ahead of it, even if it's bad. You know, it's weird, but we want to be ahead of it so we won't be at the mercy of it if somebody else has it. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah,
do want to be the leader in it, and that's
yeah.
one thing you said. Elon Musk. I ain't gonna even say the other man's name, but it does take because we can kind of put our head in the sand and say if we don't talk about it, it's nothing's gonna happen. But that's not true. These people are gonna keep moving forward with their military, with their AI, and I'm saying it's just gonna keep going. And these people don't have as many distractions as we do.
Hmm.
So so we definitely need people like you, man. If you say AI is bad, then and not bad, you're just saying that it can hurt you in the wrong hands. I guess that's what you're saying. Now,
Yeah.
if you had unlimited resources, though, what's one big problem that you feel like AI and engineering could solve?
Uh, that's a tough one. I mean, it's a lot of things, right? I mean, it's from cancer research, right?
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
It's the we need a lot of counseling, right? But it's like at what degree, right? So I feel like AI is good for certain problems, but other problems it can be good at, but it's like the whole hallucination part, right? Who's controlling the narrative, right? And it's like you want to ensure that you check that box before you say, "Hey, let me apply it to reforming the whole society," right? So I think it's a lot of work for us to like really understand before we start like applying it to certain type of problems in full capacity. So those are just a few things, right? So you want AI to see if you can detect cancer, right? And they say that AI is a lot better than some doctors, right? I'm not gonna say all doctors, right? And identifying what those key triggers are, right? Because it's seen thousands of samples more than any doctor can see, and it knows how to identify those patterns, right?
right.
But then I say if it can be like where instead of you interviewing me, it's an AI, right? Who knows the AI is better than you, right? Or is it not, right? So it becomes multifaceted when you start thinking about the applications of AI and what capacities, right? And do we want to allow AI into our life? Because it's like another human or species, but is it really, right?
Yeah,
It's a whole rabbit hole of this. But I
yeah.
do believe that, it will become more prevalent in society. I mean, you can see it now with Waymo cars and other different
What's a Waymo card?
essentially is autonomous cars. So you don't
Oh,
have a
okay.
driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they have driverless cars, but I know before for sure they were like having people in there driving it, building the trainer data, and then they send it off to the AI, and then the AI take and replaces our jobs. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 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 It's a rabbit hole, man. So
yeah.
you started something called Sky Campus Happiness uh,
Yes.
at
Yes.
Rice. What is it? What is that? What is that?
So it's essentially a wellness group, and we practice yoga, mindfulness, and meditation. So it's just something that students can come to break away from the busy schedule to kind of decompress.
Okay. And what made you start that? Did you were you having anxiety attacks or was it just stress in your life that what brought this?
Yeah, I mean, we all got stress, and just trying to find different ways to, decompress with that is one aspect, but then also the build and develop community. So it was like two facet, in a sense, but definitely it was a capacity to kind of relieve some stress, and it is a channel to release some energy.
How often do you do it?
I do it, at least once or twice a week. Um, so with that, it's just a matter of just coming. You could do it by yourself, or you could do it with others, and it's just allowing yourself to relax and figure out the problems. So meditation come in a lot of different forms depending on how you're feeling. But for me, the best feeling is being able to figure out what is it that's really bothering me? Because you may think something's bothering you, but you never really know the root cause of it. And it allows you to slow down and think and to solve problems. You can kind of really hear and see your problems in a different way. So
Now, is this Zen or is this trap? Because you're a little young, you're young. So, are you playing music? I guess, or is it just quiet?
it's just quiet. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just quiet, and it's like a guided meditation. So you have someone leading it, and they kind of walk you through kind of, you have the outside world, you have your physical self, then you have your inner self, and then you have your inner self, right? And it's just like feel yourself as you go through this, and then from there you can kind of see those things and decompress.
Yeah, I used to do something. I can't think of the name of it, so I probably should leave it alone. But I, are you in the lotus position and you just close your eyes and you? Is that how you're doing it, or what? Are you laying on your back?
Yeah, so I typically sit in a chair or lay back.
Okay, so it doesn't matter how you do it.
They tell you it's a way, but to me it's just the process of, it's just, I like to just solve problems, right?
Yeah.
But I do want to respect and get the full experience.
Oh, okay. So you're not completely quiet in your mind when you're doing it. You actually are trying to figure things out while
It's, to me it's a flow state, right?
okay.
So some days it could be that, and some days it's just you probably just need some rest, right? You
Yeah.
probably just need to just close out. But sometimes it's like, all right, this has been bothering me. All right, but why? All right, where is this coming from of this, right? And it's just like a whole chain of you sourcing some of the experiences that you've been, or you may be like, what did that person really mean from that? Okay, now I really understand them better, right? So it's an experience for sure.
Okay. Okay. So what's one struggle that you see a lot of young students going through? And if they're coming up behind you that want to go want to get the type of education that you had or just level up and get a higher education, what's some of the struggles that you feel like they could go through, and how would you help them, or what would you tell them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's twofold. Something I often remind myself is, I mean, focus is one, and then the other half is like being patient, right? Because I mean, it's crazy how many people tell me, "Oh, you still in school? Like, like what are you doing?" And then it's more so like when you're in the moment, it's like, well, I could go and do something else, right? I'm great at a lot of things, but I know this is what I want to do, right? So if you know the end goal, focus on the end goal. Don't focus on what other people are bringing to you, right? Focus on your mission, right? Because it's not for them to understand. And so I would tell a lot of students to kind of just hone in on where you want to go and be disciplined about achieving that.
Now, isn't where you want to go? Isn't that a moving goalpost? Doesn't it move?
Yeah, it moves. It
Yeah,
moves.
yeah, yeah. So how do you feel when it moves and now? Because there was a time when you didn't want a PhD, you weren't even considering it until you say you met some mentors and they kind of planted that seed.
Hmm.
Um, so at this point, is it possible that you will start and go in another direction? You know what I mean? Or do you? Is that a possibility? Or are
Oh
you just?
yeah, definitely. It's like you're always interviewing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's more so interviewing for like mentorship, or at least a path that will lead you down that, right? Because I feel like the journey isn't, oh, like I want to be like NFL player, right? I mean, I probably should find someone that's a college coach, right? And
yeah.
then see if he has any people that went to the NFL, and
Okay.
then
Yeah,
start, building upon that path in a sense. So
yeah, yeah.
that's kind of like where I'm at with like my next step is trying to like interview people and get exposure and experience.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask you next. How has mentorship, both giving it and receiving it, kind of shaped your journey? Because you do some mentorship too.
Yeah, I think it's everything, right? Um, and I feel like mentorship is. is tough, right? Because you got a lot of different facets of it, right? Because you got different type of mentors in different parts of your life, and you have to be open to that, right? To be receiving it. And then also you have to be sure that you got the right mentor, right?
Yeah.
Because we all can look up to different people, but why are we looking at that person? And is this person aligning where I want to go, right? But then on the flip side, that mentor has to know you and how to push you in that capacity, right? And I had my fair share of mentors that's been direct, some that have been more relaxed. So it's definitely something I'm grateful for, right? And I love having different facets of mentors that help me in different parts of my life.
Okay. Okay. So strip away all the titles and degrees. Who is Terrence Rice at his core? And what really drives you? Because I told you about we before we got on, talk to
Mm-hmm.
you about ideas are what motivate me, just new thought patterns, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who are you at the core and what really drives you?
Yeah, so I mean, at the core, I'm a man of faith for sure. At the end of the day, like you got to believe in something, or you'll fall for anything. So whatever it is, believe in it, and you gotta understand that we are vessels, right? And for me, it's just like none of this matters. None of this matters, right? At the end of the day, a light switch can go off, and then what, right? What lives on is the path and the trajectory that you set forth, right? And so for me, it's ensuring that my tomorrow will be better based upon what I do today, right? And that's what I stand on, is bettering me and the people that surround me day to day, through and throughout, right? How can we get better, right? Let's not be foolish, right? And so in short, that's more so who I am, right? I want to be a vessel for this, because so often we get caught up in the now, and the now doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
What matters is the full story and the journey, right? That may be a small blip in the full story and journey, but we can't allow that to change our trajectory.
yeah, yeah, yeah. My uncle always said, "Now is always gone. Soon as you say it, it's a
It
new
is.
now. Then it's a new now. Then it's a new now." Um, yeah, and I tell people, make your decisions based on through the eyes of time
Mm-hmm.
because the past is done, now is gone. The only thing you have is the future.
Mm-hmm.
People say live in the now, but it continues to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be as present as possible, but at the end of the day, it's everybody got a different journey, man. So let me ask you this, because I want to ask you a little bit about Detroit and how you feel going around the world. They say that if you can make it in Detroit, you can make it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that saying?
Yeah, because it's just more so you just get put on to like the games, right? People play. Yeah, you just more aware of like how to move smart, right? And so Detroit allowed you to be in an environment that you were able to have that no, right? Oh, okay, this is coming, right? I don't know how many times I've probably been in situations that I nothing happened, right? Gratefully, right? And it's because of being in the know. So I definitely I'm grateful for like having that exposure and access, right? Because some people don't got it.
Yeah. Do you feel like you left Detroit and had a wall up that you was unnecessary at certain times that you noticed? Like, man, why am I acting like I'm at home?
Yeah, I feel like my wall was like it wasn't a wall up. I feel like I was like at the top of the mountain shouting, right? Like I felt like
Oh
me
yeah,
being from Detroit, like I could just be me, right? In a lot of societies, they may be passive, right? And
yeah,
I feel like we are very like out there spoken people, right?
yeah.
And so for me, I had to like, and that may just been like a personal, you know, thing
No,
that I had to do.
I experienced that too. Like, especially down here in Nashville, they don't lead. We a little. They consider us a little aggressive sometimes with the way we approach things. So yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so for me, it was just like, all right, why I keep encountering all these problems? All right, let me look at me, right? Like maybe I need to reframe who I am, right? And that's for life, right? It's not like in this PhD journey, I had to do some reflecting, right? It's always something that you working to get better at, right? Because you dealing with these different vessels, right? These different people, right? And you got to be able to interact with them, right? And so you always got to evolve and know how to evolve based upon the different environments.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Well, man, it has definitely been a dope conversation, man. The Sky Campus Happiness, is this something that you plan on expanding, like to say you have one in Detroit, one in somewhere else, or is this online? You could just go online, or is this something just for your school and just this moment in your life?
Yeah, so this is just like one compartment of many things, right? And so like in total, like this is something I do want to share with other people. But more so, I feel like it's a bigger picture in store with all of this. And this is just one component that I'm learning to apply to my life that's helping me. But I guess just to get involved in like mindfulness and meditation, there's a lot of different like communities, right? A lot of different groups and organizations. They're like all over the place. But this one is a part of the Art of Living, and the Art of Living, they have campuses throughout the whole US and the world itself. And so the Sky part of it is for universities. And so essentially, the Art of Living is the actual kind of good component, or the Art of Living is the big component of Sky Happiness and the mindfulness and meditation. It's underneath a real guru, and his name is Guru Dev. So
Okay,
um,
okay. And so, what's next for Dr. Rice?
So yeah, what's next for me is starting my career. I think it's time, right? Everybody keeps saying it, but now that I have the credentials, right, I got a terminal degree. What's next is definitely getting. For me, I ask God, right? I say I want to get as much experience as I can. That way, I can be a beast out here, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm setting forth and manifesting what type of experiences that I want in what capacities, and I'm a big person about manifesting my future. So
Yeah.
that's definitely kind of what I've been doing, is trying to figure out what's next, right? But I know what's next is going to be great because I got friends that's doing VC in Africa. I got friends working at top consulting companies. So it's just a matter of seeing what I want and then hearing their experiences as well.
Okay. Okay. And you say consulting. I love consulting because consulting is so pliable. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like consulting can just encompass so many different things, but it just depends on, and the pay grade. Consulting is really good, and I just feel like these large companies, they have a budget for that, and
Hmm.
especially if you add value, you ain't got to worry about eating at all, especially with your credentials. You know what I mean? So, um, I guess kind of in closing, if somebody that may be sitting at home that sees this video or the podcast, and speaking of this podcast, y'all make sure that y'all like, subscribe, share, comment. But yeah, somebody sitting back that is in the beginning stages or they went through some hardships, what advice would you give them to change their situation and manifest for themselves?
Yeah. So for me, where I am today is the guy told me, he said he was going to give me a CD and it was going to change my life. And essentially, it's the book called The Secret. And in that book is more so about, the law of attraction. So whatever your situation is and what you think about it, it could be changed, right? And it's more so of you manifesting that, right, and how to do that, right? And so it's thinking positive. Even if you're in a bad situation, how can I think positive? So whatever you think is what you get. And so I definitely attribute to mindset, right, and reframing a mindset to change your paradigm, right, because your paradigm is your reality. So always thinking about how can I think more positively about the situation I am, how can I get into the perspective of where I want to be, right? Because then that will come. And so I definitely attribute, books and different teachings of mindfulness to my success.
Okay, if you weren't in education, what do you think you would be doing right now?
Uh, I would hate to say like a desk job, right? So if I could pick, what I want to do, right, it will be starting businesses, right? Like if I could do something, it would be like
Entrepreneur.
creating opportunities, yeah. So
Mm, okay,
I feel like the desk job is the easiest thing, but it's the safest thing, right? But it's like if I don't want to play it safe, what would I do? I would be innovating companies, right? Turning them over, getting them evaluated, right? The whole pipeline of VC, all of that, right? And so I think that may be one path, but it may start with consulting. Yeah.
okay, okay. Well, in closing, man, I definitely feel like it's a great interview, man. I appreciate you. We're going into that 1 hour mark. I only wanted to do a half, but you're just so many jewels that you drop. I appreciate you coming in with your busy schedule. You got a meeting today, man. Good luck with that. Shout out to everybody that came in the room. Shout out to our Detroit family back home, because now you in Houston, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How's Houston receiving you, man?
Oh man, I love it, man. They love me, man. And photography is another component to me, and it definitely allowed me to connect with a lot of impactful people here.
Okay, how long you been doing photography?
Since 2017. Yeah.
Okay, do you have a is it a brand name or you just kind of freelancing right now?
It's Red Lens.
Red Lens.
Yeah, Red Lens, and you can find me on Instagram, Red Lens HTX. And so pretty much I kind of freelance, do it all, essentially podcast, 360 photo booth, video and photos.
Red Lens HTX.
Yes.
Let's see. Did I get this
Check
right?
me out.
Oh, it's lens with an S, right?
Lens.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I put the Z in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. There
Yep. That's me. Yep. On Instagram. Definitely.
Y'all definitely go over there and support Red Lens, man. Red Lens, he's out of Houston right now. And you say that you do primes, you do
I've done it all.
done it all.
Studio shoots, prom, send off, weddings, did a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Most definitely, man. That's what's up. So yeah, man. So this is Terence Rice, man. This is how old are you now?
30.
30 years old in the PhD program. At the top level of education, which is, the PhD. So this will be Dr. Rice soon. So how long, if everything goes as planned, before you'll be walking across the stage with your PhD?
So my personal goal is next May. But I'm just working and grinding it out, right? It's like a rites of passage for this. So all I do is put in the work, and when they say I'm ready, I jump.
Yeah, yeah. Let me ask you this: what does a day look like in this? Because you work, and we talked a little bit about you getting. They have a stipend for you, so
Hmm.
you work, you get paid for working, but you're also working towards your PhD. How does that work?
Yeah, so it's just like I don't. It to me it's funny because I mean the thing about the PhD is you get paid to go to school, but the flip side you just don't get paid a lot, right? But you still get paid to go to school, so it's not like you have a lot of student debt or anything that you added on to what you have from undergrad. But it's more so it's like it's not as much. So it's like I get paid to go to school, I get paid to like go to class, I get paid to learn, right? And then from that, like they only want papers, right, that you can publish, right? And then from that publication, you go to conferences that are all around the world with top people, right? So my day to day is, you know, being in a research lab, right? Whatever I have to do, some days is coding, creating, scripts that can do the physics AI is what I do. And then is some days where I'm in the lab conducting experiments. That way we can use that data set to train.
Oh,
for
okay.
doing
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Uh, but big picture, like some of the beautiful parts of it is like, once I have this body of work, I could publish it and I'm around the best of the best in these communities, right? Each PhD, they have a community that they're in that contributes to a works of excellence, right? And that's how you get some of the novel things that you see in society today.
If someone was looking for mentorship for a young person that's in education that wants to do what you do, is there a way that they can get in contact with you or email?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, you can email me, but anything on LinkedIn. So you can use my name, Tarence Rice, and mention me on LinkedIn. And
okay.
if I can't help you, it's a community of people out here that definitely can help.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you want to do, if you got a young person that wants it, it's out there. We have to,
Hmm.
like you say, you got to be curious and you have to not take no for an answer and just be determined. And you will get, majority of the time, you'll get what you're looking for. People want to help. People want to help, and people helped you.
Oh,
So
you still
without,
are.
yeah, 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 without all your
Still
mentors.
are.
So listen, man, I'm proud of you. I'm always rooting for you. I appreciate you coming on the show. To the family, shout out to the Jones family for rearing a great young man who's going to do great things. And if you ever want to come on the show, if you need me, you already know how to. You already know where I'm at.
Hmm.
But I appreciate you. I'm gonna put you backstage for a minute. But thanks for showing up, brother.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Great conversation. Great
Yeah.
conversation.
Keep disrupting, man.
Keep this up, man, for sure. All right.
Definitely.
Peace.